Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So first things first, my hair, don't know, it's been washed, let's not talk about it. It's been 6-7 months since it's been cut, so we're not going to get into it. But thank you for tuning into today's video. I have over 250 subscribers now. My last two videos are doing quite well, so what the hell, thanks. I'm so happy about it. So I thought I would try something a bit different, and I'm not sure how well it's gone, but we're just gonna roll with it, you know, it's a learning curve. So today's video is my favourite ways of training hip thrust. So one of my main fitness goals at the minute is to grow my glutes, so I've been trying to find a way of training them that I enjoy, as well as training for hypertrophy, which is basically just where your muscles grow and get bigger. So I've tried to keep it quite simple. I've tried not to make it too sciencey. If you do want a sciencey video though, let me know in the comments below. I feel like I'm really struggling to talk today, so sorry if I am. But yeah, I filmed these the other day and I filmed them after leg day, and that was just a mistake, really, wasn't it? It really was. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. I've left some outtakes in at the end because filming it was a hoot, to be honest. I filmed it all in about 15 minutes and I tried to do one variation after the other and it's pretty intense. It's not ideal. Okay, so the way that I learned to train glutes, or I am still learning to train glutes, is just following people who are doing well in that field. So the girls, well actually the first girl that made me think I want that bum was Megan Grubb. Like honestly, I just love her, and like her whole, I just love her. But her bum is amazing, and it really inspired me to start training glutes more. Lucy Davis is another one, and also Amy Rooks is one of my favourites. They're just the top three for like anything booty. I just love them. They're just amazing people as well. And obviously the science guy behind it all, that most people probably know about, is Brett Contreras. I have his glute guide, which is the big book that he did on it with loads of science in it. But yeah, I would head over to their channels for more inspo. But as I was saying, these are just my 5 favourite ways of training hip thrusts for glute growth. Also, I've had Jordan, who is a personal trainer, watching and listen over the clips and my voiceovers, just to check that everything's okay and I'm not giving out any false information, because obviously I'm not qualified. This is just how I train. Like, this video is all personal preference in terms of hip thrust. And the final thing that I want to just quickly go over, it's a tiny bit sciencey before we get into the exercises, is I like to train in the 3 mechanisms of hypertrophy that exist. So there's mechanical tension, which is where it feels like heavy. So when you're actually doing the movement, the weight of whatever you're lifting, so for my examples for my videos, it's a barbell, so the barbell feels heavy, it's heavy to move. That's the first one. The second one is my favourite when training glutes. I really love the sensation of it, and like, that's so funny because when I train abs, I hate it. Like, it's so weird. It's just, this is why it's personal preference. So you're not gonna like training styles in every muscle, if that makes sense. So I like metabolic stress, which is where you can feel the burn and you can feel the muscles working, you can feel them struggling, like to the point where I actually can't sit down. Can you hear that banging? I don't know what that is. Literally to the point where in my hip thrust, like in between sets, I'm like this, lifting my bum up off the floor, because it's so painful. The burn is so good. That's what we need, you know? Well, that's what I need. So that's the second one. I don't know if I've said already, but that's metabolic stress. And as I was saying before, when I have that in my abs and it literally feels like my abs are gonna tear, that's the feeling, like that's the mechanism. Okay. And then the last mechanism is muscle damage. So that usually occurs like 1 or 2 days later, and it's when you feel like sore and you can't, like, so walking up and down the stairs after leg day like is a task because it hurts. That's the third one, and I guess really, like, I don't know how to word this. Let's think. So don't always strive for that feeling, even though it feels good because you feel like you've done a lot and you've trained hard and it's hurting and your muscles are sore. it's not always the best way to go, because if you can't walk and then after 2 days you've got another leg day, then you can't put as much into that session, you can't try as hard in the exercises because you're already hurting. So don't always strive for muscle soreness, and don't be disappointed if it's not there. You need like a balance of all three mechanisms to get the progress. Obviously there's way more science behind it than that. I'm just giving this as kind of a, what should I call it? How should I word it? This is like a why I train these hip thrust variations in the way that I do. And also in the clips, sorry, I'll stop talking soon. Also in the clips there is some where I haven't said how I train them because the actual clip wasn't long enough for me to put that in the voiceover. Otherwise I'd be talking like, oh, I don't know, I did that. Otherwise I'd be talking like really fast, and I already do that anyway, so yeah. I'll put them all in the description box below. And I think for now that's enough. I literally look grey because the sky's grey and we can see it in the mirrors and it's reflecting on me, and I've got no makeup on because it's a Sunday and it's lockdown, so why would I? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the clips, and please comment below if you have a go at any of them, and if you find that you like training in that way, or you like the way that I train them, or if you already do that, or if you have any other ways that you train them that I might enjoy, please let me know, because yeah, we're all here for the hip thrust really, aren't we? But yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so the first exercise is the classic hip thrust. So you start sat up with your shoulders on the block, you have your feet shoulder width apart, and my feet are slightly turned out. When you get to the top, you want your chin to stay tucked and your knees to be at a 90-degree angle, and obviously we just squeeze the glutes to get there. Then for the rest of the reps, you just repeat, and as you can see in the clip, I'm keeping the tension on at the bottom. So I'm letting the weights come down, but I'm not sitting in between each rep. And I'm also pushing through my heels and really squeezing the glutes at the top to make sure I'm just getting a good connection to the muscle. I like to train these 10 sets of 10, so German volume training, and also for strength, so just trying to get heavy. And the next exercise is 1 1/4 rep hip thrust. So it's the same setup, the same principle, the same movement, but after 1 rep, you drop down 1/4 of the way and pulse back up to the top. So it literally is 1 1/4 rep of a hip thrust, and honestly, these are the devil. Your glutes will burn. Okay, so the third variation I'm going to talk about is the B stance hip thrust. So again, it's the same setup, and you want to do the same thing with your top body, but instead you're going to move 1 foot forward so that that heel is in line with the toe of the other foot, and this is it's called a B stance. So yeah, that's the only difference, and obviously it just puts more stress onto the working glute. So here my left foot is closer, so my left glute will be working harder, but you're able to keep your balance and still get that full range. I like to train these as a triset, so I'll do, for example here I'm doing 6 on one leg, 6 on the other leg, and then I'll go 6 like normal classic setup, both feet hip thrusts, and yeah, it looks relatively easy, but it's really not, as you can tell. And the fourth exercise is banded hip thrust. So you just put a resistance band around your knees and it forces you to keep your knees out. You don't want your knees to come in like so. I don't know why I did that. So by pushing your knees out, it forces you to recruit more of your glute medius, which is an adductor muscle. So you're resisting against the band, pushing your knees out, and you just do the same movement, the same setup for the normal hip thrusts, but it just burns a lot more. I also like to train these as like a sort of builder sort of thing, so I'll do 1 hip thrust, 1 abduction, 2 hip thrusts, 2 abductions, and so on, as far as you can go, and I'll do that after like my normal hip thrust, and if you can get past 5, you deserve a medal. You could also go the reverse way, like 5 to 1 as well. The final variation is single leg hip thrust. So same setup, except you're going to have 1 leg raised off the floor. I prefer to do it with my leg like almost straight, but I've seen people do it with bent legs too. And you can make this more difficult by adding a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or I've seen some people do it with a landmine, although I'm not really brave enough to do that, and obviously it's single leg, so it's just one more work for one glute. Okay, so that is my 5 favourite hip thrust variations and different ways that I train them. Again, as I said before, I haven't actually managed to speak enough in some of the voiceovers, so I've popped them in the description box below. But yeah, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I've also kept the influencers in there that I follow. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. As I said before, I've got some outtakes coming up next, so enjoy those and I hope you have a little bit of a laugh. Alright, thanks guys, see you in the next one. Yeah, that looks good. Straight. Okay, stop. Look at his split.
Oh god. Pig.
Right. Can you see my feet?
See if you can do the look you give your mum a time. Ah, you just did it.
No, I haven't done it properly yet. Go on, do it again. Tell me to look.
Look at me.
I didn't look in the camera. Right, does this look right?
Oh!
Does it look... No, on the camera!
Sorry, I was looking at your beauty. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
Have we got?
Go on. Can't see it because of the foam pad.
Right. I need to do about a minute of hip thrust, so Luke, come away from there, don't knock it over.
I'm stuck. Hello, back.
Don't stand on there. No, get out. No, go away. Jordan, the dog. Jordan! Shut up, Norman! Jordan?
Yeah?
Oh, it doesn't matter. My arse is killing me. I'm gonna stop for now. Demonstrating is hard.
Don't need to demo. I'll demo for you.
Huh?
I'll demo for you.
My bum cheeks. I hope this all looks good.
Of course it will. You're in it.
Yeah. My bum's killing me.
What, you said you weren't sore?
Well, it is now. I need a band. I need a band.
You still have to do that, can't you?
That was really hard to get in with this on my legs. I'm so sore and tired, bro.
Look fair.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, good. What's your name?
What's your number? You didn't say that it's lying. My bum's really hurting.
I thought you said it wasn't hurting.
Well, it is now.
It's not hurting.
It is now. That's hard, mate. position.